Radiant team ban.
Hello everybody, my name is CulBlu and I am actually bringing you guys, yes you guys see right there, Team Chibusa presents the Dota 2 tournament. This would be the third week, the third qualifiers that they're having, and I actually need to go change a few things because I have, stuff is blowing up everywhere, that's all I gotta say. So let's see, let me turn my open mic on so you guys can actually hear me inside the game. Let me turn my camera controls down so you guys won't have that crazy experience. And let me go ahead and get started talking about what's going on in the game, because we have some bans, actually not standard bans, so that gives me a little bit of time to do this very important thing. Wrong one. There we go, that's what I wanted. So see, I want to copy that.
DotA team ban.
Control C, cancel. Let's go back to the other one. And through the magic of television, or, well, whatever this isn't television. This is definitely webcast, or whatever you guys want to call it. Boom, just like that, you guys can see the Facebook page. Definitely go check them out, facebook.com/Chibusu's Minions. They are trying to promote the page as much as possible. We're trying to promote their page as much as possible, and I have no gripes with that at all. We definitely want to see some awesome things coming from that and organize this tournament. So anyway, let's go and talk about the bans and picks. So we see some interesting things happening already. Oh, my desk is extremely messy, my trash cans are overflowing. That's not good, guys. I need to go clean that stuff up. I need to get on that. But we see bans and picks, we see Lifestealer Weaver, and we also see OD and Darkseer. In this specific instance, I think letting the OD go through would have definitely not have affected too much. But letting the Batrider go through, that's gonna come back to bite them in the butt. I can say that much. If Hijo, oh man, I don't know how to pronounce that. I should call him Del. If Del can actually handle the Batrider well, reasonably well, then they should be able to make Principal pay pretty darn heavily for letting the Batrider go through. We'll see as the game pans out.
10 seconds.
But for now, just know that Batrider did make it through the pool. As far as the bans go, we see a Lifestealer ban, we see a Weaver ban. Lifestealer, he's one of those standard bans. He's very powerful in a tri-lane. Even though I think Valk can nerf him all they want, Lifestealer's going to be one of the go-to carries at this current stage in time. But that used to be said about Naga, and look at her, she's now support. Weaver, he's very elusive, very annoying to deal with. He just jumps in and out of those fights. OD, he's pretty darn powerful as far as mid goes. He can flat out win the early game versus almost any mid person you put him against, because they won't have mana to do anything except for maybe Puck, but all she can do is phase shift, which won't stop her from getting her intelligence stolen, and this should be stupid. Sad days for Puck. And as far as Darkseer goes, Darkseer, he's a very solid offlaner. Not necessarily the most annoying thing in the world to deal with. All you have to do is basically get a bane, and plus somebody else with a disable. It can pretty much kill Darkseer all day long if he decides to go into suicide lane for his team. That said, later on in the game, Vacuum Wall does become very painful, as one of my friends have pointed out before, because the stronger your carry gets, the stronger Darkseer's wall gets, because he can make illusions of your carry and just do massive amounts of damage. So Darkseer is banned out. As far as the rest of the bans, you see Naga ban, Jakiro ban, Prophet ban, and Windrunner ban. The only standout ban in that whole entire thing is the Windrunner ban. She's a pretty solid offlaner as well. Shackle Shot can just flat out turn fights. It's quite ridiculous. And also she can run mid too if you want to run in there. But she's usually running offlane as a no-nonsense support, no-nonsense 4. All she needs is like maybe 3 levels, and then she can probably be more effective than almost any other. Well, not necessarily almost any other, but you know, just as effective as any other support in the world. Well, in the world of Dota, that is. So as far as the picks, we see a Garak on the pick, we see a Rubik pick on the side of Principal Goober Fudge, with a picture of a president standing in front of his 2 crying children. That's what that looks like. That's definitely what that looks like, guys. And we also see a Viper pickup. Viper you don't see picked up all that often, and they definitely could have stayed that for last. I'm pretty sure he would have made it through the poll, or made it through the ban phase and pick phase completely untouched, because nobody necessarily goes to Viper as a pickup carry or a pickup mid. But that does kind of give the hand away at what Principal Goober Fudge wants to do. That basically shows me that they want to go for more of a tanky upfront lineup, have Viper be there, just be as annoying as possible, slowing the crap out of everybody, and if Viper does get the ball rolling early, he could just flat out kill everybody else, because they won't be able to have too much room to safely farm, because as soon as Viper sees you, he's gonna poison you, and he's gonna like throw chloroform at you, and then next thing you know, you're gonna wake up and like, bro, where are my pants, because you bought a dress in that last day and you didn't return to JCPenney's. Anyway, moving on to the picks on the side of Uh, Julio's del Mall. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. I'm horrible at Spanish. I'm assuming that's in Spanish. I'm just gonna call him Del, because that looks like a nice, simple name to call him. They picked up the Bat they picked up the Wisp. Pretty much two of, not necessarily the most, actually no, not thinking about it. Yeah, probably two of the most OP heroes in the game. Mainly because Wisp, she kind of shifts the whole meta around. There's not necessarily any safe place to hide when there's a Wisp on the map, especially if you're all alone. And they see you're alone, and Wisp is level 6, and she grabs somebody else, relocates up, kills you flat out with her ally, of course, and then they go relocate back and continue their own farming. So Wisp kind of just changes the way you want to play the game. As far as the Bat Rider pickup goes, Bat Rider, he's very strong, he's always relevant, and we do have the CK Wisp combination coming up, so Dell is kind of giving away their hand with that. Not necessarily the biggest deal in the world, but I mean, they kind of saw it coming from a mile away. Principal just said, hey, we're not going to worry about the CK. We'll let you get the CK. We got the Viper. And actually, now that I think about it, Viper might be a decent matchup against a CK. But my biggest fear is that Viper, all he'll be able to do is survive for maybe 4 more auto attacks. And then CK will still flat out kill him with plenty of HP left to go kill Rubik and then Gyrocopter afterwards. So it's going to be a very it's going to be a huge uphill battle if Principal Goober Fudge give the CK Wisp any room to farm. And speak of the devil, they're not going to give him any room to farm at all. Actually, no, they said we're going to give you room, but we're going to come back by the grace of the Bounty Hunter gold. And Principal Goober Fudge very smartly pick up that Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter just basically makes your mid game that much more enjoyable. It makes not necessarily enjoyable, it just makes it that much more or that much less painful, I guess. Mainly because if you can get just 1 or 2 track golds and you're down by like maybe 2 kills, you're doing extremely well. If both teams are tied in kills and Bounty Hunter has gotten at least 2 or 3 tracks and other people have been evolved, his team is ahead by at least a tower, which is essentially 1,000 gold across the board because everybody gets 200 gold per person. So Bounty Hunter, he can just pretty much take the gold graph and flip it on side of his head, despite what you see happening in the game. Even if CK Wisp are able to just kill Rubik over and over and over, as long as Bounty Hunter keeps his pace with his track gold, maybe get a track gold every minute and a half, his team will be perfectly fine going toe-to-toe with CK Wisp late game. And specifically Gyrocopter, because Gyrocopter is going to nail the room. So it's a really nice thing, and actually the rest of the picks, it looks like a very mid-game centric type thing. Gyrocopter, his ulti at early levels is actually pretty darn strong. The slow is pretty hefty, and the damage, if you can get people with the damage part, is actually pretty nice as well. When those team fights do break out, Bounty Hunter, he'll be there to throw some tracks. Rubik Telekinesis is still a big spell. He'll probably still Chaos Bolt and stick with that. Or maybe even still Timbersaw's ulti. And speaking of the devil, speaking of which, there's a Timbersaw on the map on Dell's side. And Timbersaw, he'll be interesting to watch. It'll be interesting to see what Timbersaws do. From my experience, from what I've seen, if a Timbersaw doesn't have a decent start, as in like if he doesn't have like 20 last hits and arcane boots already, then he's usually pretty much useless to his team for the complete duration of the game. Of course, that's a very hard line to put at, but I mean, just for the sake of not seeming vague to you guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. I know, it's a whole bunch of other factors that are involved in that. Arcane boots are not the end-all, be-all for Timbersaw, but usually, if Timbersaw gets shut down early, which he definitely might get shut down early versus the Viper, assuming that Timbersaw is going to go mid and Viper's going to go mid, he's not going to be too terribly useful to his team. He might be able to pick up a Bounty Hunter every once in a while because of his ulti, and that's really about it. As far as the bans, there was a Chen ban out on the side of Principal Goober Fudge, and I'm actually surprised Chen made it this far. Like generally the way I see it is if Chen made it this far, then they're probably not gonna pick him up. But with that said, there's a Wisp pickup, and they do need enough support on Dell's side, on the Radiant side. So Chen wouldn't be that bad of a pickup. He'll be a nice support who can just push you on through everything. And Principal Goober Fudge, actually that makes perfect sense. Dell made a nice little move. They banned out the Enchantress as well. I didn't consider the fact that Principal and Goober Fudge were going to go for an Enchantress of their own, to go for the carry, or to go for the jungler. Not necessarily carry, because they have the Gyrocopter / Viper for the carry role / Bounty Hunter if you want to put him in that pool too. But it looks like they put a nice little hole in their plan, and no, they didn't. They go for the Vengeful Spirit instead. Principal Goober Fudge going for a more we're gonna kill you as fast as possible type strat. Viper, he's very powerful in the mid game, especially if he can get his Vanguard at like maybe the 15 to 17-minute mark, then Viper will be pretty darn survivable versus any and all damage that comes out from Heels Del Mo. Specifically, or even the Timbersaw. He'll be pretty survivable because of that corrosive skin. CK, he can't auto attack him to death, and then the Bounty Hunter will be helping out with the gold. Vengeance Spirit, that Vengeance Aura will help push down towers. And Rubik, he's there to push down the creep wave. So not necessarily a push strat, but a very, very potent mid-game strat coming out from Prince of Goober. Whereas on the side of Dell, we see that they picked up the Nyx Assassin as their last pickup, so they're going to try to throw as many monkey wrenches as possible in the mid-game of Principal Goober Fudge with the CK list and also with the Nyx Assassin. So all that aside, ooh, look at Nyx Assassin. Awesome outfit. That is the Claw of the Hidden Hive. I'm still not buying outfits because they cost too much. But I will buy them for giveaways though, because I love you guys. I love my viewers. Anywho, let me go and do introduction. Starting off on the side of, wow, okay, 420 PGF69 or Goober. I shall call you guys Goober. What? How can you guys hear me? Oh man, derp. Yes. Well, I kind of gave away strategies. Anyway, you gotta turn off all chat. If all chat's turned on, you guys can hear each other as well. In game, that is.
Can you hear this other team?
Yes, they can hear you because I can hear you.
Alright.
Hello.
What are these shenanigans? Who turned on all chat? Anywho.
What's up?
I can't cast quietly. Let's see. Yeah, why don't you guys just remake? Like, way earlier. I guess I gave it like 20 hints to both sides. Oh, jeez. This game's broken. Game is hard. Alright, so we're gonna have a remake. I'm gonna leave all this through. I'm gonna edit this somehow. And actually, I'm gonna keep recording. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just keep recording. Tournament issues. Oh, man. I would say I feel very embarrassed, but I don't, because it's not necessarily my fault. That is the fault of the lobby creator. Not turning off all chat. If you guys don't know, there's an option in here called all chat, and if you guys don't turn it off, you can hear everybody on both sides, and it's primarily for the focus of, yeah, it's primarily for the focus of captains, or not captains, trainers, training people. Anywho, yeah, we're just waiting for everybody to go. Yeah, so saying hello to YouTube. Oh, God. Okay. Right. And we'll be starting up very shortly. I would play music, but I don't want to do, like, the legal things dealing with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring up the brackets, because I totally forgot to show you guys that a little bit earlier. So let's go ahead and bring up the brackets. Let's make this cover up that chat, because that chat is a little nasty over there. Let's copy this to Internet Explorer, because that is where my brackets run through. And no, I do not want this to be my default browser, but let's go ahead and close that. Put this in, go there, and we shall see the brackets. We shall see, said the blind man. As far as the brackets go, you guys can see it right on over here. We are in the quarterfinals 3, and we're watching we are watching one of these teams play against another one of these teams. I'm not too entirely sure which one it is. Let's see. I see DG4, X-Men. I saw Dell. Yep, not too sure which team is which. I have not a clue. One of these teams in this general area, so it could be this team. Sorry, it could. Well, crap, you guys can see. It could be. Yeah, you guys can't see my cursor. That's not cool. Anyway, there's one of these teams over here somewhere. Just know that. These are the brackets, like I said. This is Team Chibusa's DotA 2 tournament, and hopefully they can't hear me. Because if they can, that'll be pretty sad. Looks like they can't hear me. Sweet. It looks like we're all good. And yeah, we're jumping right back into the all pick. I shouldn't have to say any too terribly much, because you guys did see a whole entire fiasco that was going on a few seconds before. I actually might edit this there on YouTube, but I don't know, that's a lot of after work. Anywho, so there we go. The game's underway. As far as I can tell, they cannot hear me at all. So they heard me talk about CK voice all the time, and like oh man, I feel so bad. It's a GLF. Anyway, so let me go and do introduction. Starting off with the side of X-Men, which is what they're going to be called now. Cast to speak loud, I can't hear you. Moving on to his list, we see Blood on her. Moving over to his Timbersaw, we see Sky. On this Chaos Knight, we see Axel. Moving over to the Batrider, we see Sky Dash on that Batrider. And last but not least, on this Nyx Assassin, we see IX Tac 86 on the Nyx Assassin. And moving on to the jungle, on this Vengeful Spirit, who actually might be going out here very soon. She does walk a little bit too far. We see Borde on her. Moving over to this, Vengeful Spirit getting chased. Nobody can actually initiate. Nyx Assassin, he can throw an Impale, but it won't really be to any anvil. She has too much support around the corner. She probably will still die, but it'll be still a little bit too much support. On this Vengeful Spirit, we see Borde. Like I said, moving on to his Rubik, we see the dude, not the chick, but the dude. And last but not least, actually, on this Gyrocopter, and this Trilan, we see Theory on him. Moving over mid, we see Phantasmaquit on that Viper. And down at the bottom, on this bounty here, we see the Great Prophet Muhammad on that bounty. And that pretty much ends out all the callouts on this entire map. Let's go and look at how the lanes are going to match up. Because so far we see a dual support in the form of Nyx and Whis hanging out with the CK, of course. What other lineup would they have? And that helmet is actually pretty silly looking. That's a really silly looking helmet, man. On the CK, as far as the mid lane goes, we have a Viper versus Batrider. Not too terribly bad of a matchup. Batrider probably can't necessarily go in for a kill. Well, actually no, he can. He can go for a kill because Viper won't have any corrosive skin until maybe level 4. Or sorry, maybe level 5. Actually no, probably way after that. Because he goes for Poison Attack, max out Poison Attack, max out Nether Toxin, and then he starts getting points inside of his corrosive skin. Unless he absolutely needs it. As far as typical builds for Viper. Yeah, Viper versus Batrider, this ought to be an interesting matchup. Because Viper can do relatively well as far as surviving. Especially if you take the early point in corrosive skin. And next year, he does take an early point in corrosive skin. Sweet, I totally called it, guys. I called it before it was cool. Meanwhile, on this top lane, we see a tri lane with the Gyrocopter, Rubik, and Vengeful Spirit versus a wild Timbersaw all by himself. He actually hasn't put a point inside of anything because he's not sure what he should go for. But if I had to guess, I would say a good thing to put a point into would be Timber Chain. But then again, with the CC between with the disables between Rubik and Vengeful Spirit, he actually still might be going down, even if he gets a chance to Timber Chain away. Let me go ahead and bring up these graphs over here. This last into the night, so you guys see over there, CK doing really well in this bottom lane, mainly because Bounty Hunter can't do diddly squat anyway, so he's actually going to start rotating around the corner. See if you can get him something. This Observer does scout him out. I think I saw him go invisible. They're saying, hey, Bounty's here, and they could potentially go for the kill on top of Bounty, because there is a Sentry Ward right over here. As long as Bounty Hunter doesn't walk into his range, he will be safe, but if he does walk into that forbidden zone, he just might be in trouble. Put himself a nice Observer right over here in this perfect spot. I think this is the Magic Tree Ward, so I think it blocks this one. I think it blocks that one as well. But they did see the Bounty walk around the corner. They did say, hey, it's probably warded over here. We gotta check for another Observer Ward. And Bounty Hunter placed it in a very, very different spot, which is very nice. Wiz does get a double hole. And they probably don't want to use their last Sentry Ward for this, but they might have to use the last Sentry Ward to get this Observer Ward. And actually, they do see the Bounty Hunter going to get caught in the worst way possible, getting his mana burn, getting hit with a nice Impale, a lot of damage getting done to Bounty. Good thing he has 6 Tangos. Meanwhile, moving up top, the lane is pulled. This is a double stack, so it will be killing this whole entire creep wave. Actually, this is a double pull as well, so it won't be killing this whole entire creep wave. It will be pushing just a little bit, not too terribly much. But just to give you guys a hint on the logic behind a double pull, I'm sorry, double stack. The reason why you want to stack the camp, whoa, where is it? The reason why you want to stack these camps up twice is because two neutral camps should kill the entire creep wave at the early levels. So if you can stack this twice and get 2 camps there at once, even if it's 2 of the same, doesn't matter what they are, they will kill the entire creep wave off completely, which will in turn not push your lane. Because if you look at the lane right now, there's 4 creeps on the side of the Radiant versus 6 creeps on the side of the Dire. Now you see Timbersaw in a lot of trouble. Timbersaw does miss a tree. He will be going down. He does lose his life because this tree... Oh man, because that tree was down. If that tree was up, Timbersaw would have survived. But his Timber Chain, as you guys can see, it's just barely out of range. Actually, he was aiming for that tree. But that tree was just barely out of range. Meanwhile, we have Viper go down mid, Batrider go down mid as well. I think they both killed each other. I didn't really see it. Yes, they did both kill each other. Viper got the kill first on top of Batrider. So Viper did get the better end of that because he got the XP plus the gold. As you can see, Batrider's level 4 versus Viper's level 5.5. So Viper's a little bit ahead in that retrospect, but that Corrosive Skin definitely helping him out. Because I'm pretty sure Batrider did throw a few auto attacks down on top of Viper, and now Viper can be as aggressive as he wants. He's back, he's fresh, he's full. He has a Ring of Aquila. He actually needs to go ahead and turn it off because it will be pushing his lane, and not necessarily the most favorable ways for him. Batrider pops himself a Firefly, uses a few bottle charges. He wants to go for kill on top of this Viper, but Viper, like I said, has a point on that Corrosive Skin. That Batrider's in the worst way possible. He's getting permanent slowed, and he should be going down. There we go. Boom goes the dynamite. Batrider goes down. Corrosive Skin helping out Viper miles and miles and miles. I don't know why I said miles so many times, but it's just helping him out so much. Sentry Ward plays to kill his Observer Ward. Observer Ward is officially killed, but I think the Sentry Ward does block the camp. I'm not sure what the exact technicalities on that one is, or what the exact technicalities on that one are. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, or else they wouldn't have placed it there. Just a wild guess. Just a wild guess. So meanwhile, the supports have effectively have less farm. They can still do a pull, but it's going to be actually really hard to do this pull. Wuss says, "Hey bro, I got this. So watch me do my job." And Wuss is actually going to go ahead and stack this camp. The camp is stacked. Courier bringing out Dust of Appearance. These guys do want to go for kill on top of Bounty Hunter sometime soon. All they need is just one whiff of the fact that he's over here, and they will be able to go for the kill. Wuss realizes that immediately regretting their decision, placing that Sentry Ward a little bit too close. As far as typical spots that people place Observer Wards, for all those who are wondering, people usually place Observer Wards right about here, that blocks the camp. They place it about here, that blocks the camp, or maybe somewhere in there, that blocks the camp, and here, that blocks the camp as well. So those are just popular places to put the Observer Ward. Alright, CK goes for a nice Reality Rift, and Bounty Hunter does get dusted up. The stuns do come out. These guys do want to go for the kill. CK taking out tower. Perfect person to have taking it. Bounty Hunter will be going out. CK able to pick up the kill on top of that. More gold for him. He has 2k gold right now, guys. I am not too sure what exactly he's going for, but he has a lot of gold held up inside of his bank account right now. I don't know. Like, will CK go for Radiance? That's a big question. Oh, no, Hand of Midas. Okay. He could go for Hand of Midas. But he's kind of slowing down progress by not getting the Hand of Midas just yet. And ooh, I like that. So the graph, or sorry, the mini map shows where the ward is now, or rune is. It's actually really helpful. Thank you, Val, for updating things. That makes it pretty awesome. So if his rune over there, Batrider's gonna go ahead and pick that up. He has a regen rune already, so he can actually try to go for kill on top of Viper. But Viper has 2 points inside of his Corrosive Skin, so it's actually gonna be really hard for Batrider to nuke down a Viper. Because don't forget, for every 1 point of Corrosive Skin, I think you get 10% increase in magic resistance. Nope, you get 10 the first level and then 5% at every level after. So right now, Viper has 15% reduction in magic resistance, and we actually see what's going down bottom. Bounty Hunter will pick up the kill on top of that. He's very low. Looks like he just won. He won the staring contest. He says, "My beard is longer than yours." I don't know. It made sense in my head, guys. It made sense in my head. It was a mix between two different jokes. So Viper has himself 4 stacks of sticky napalm. Really dangerous situation for a typical person, but for Viper, he doesn't really care too much. Nick Batrider wants to go in for the kill. He's actually coming close to Viper. Viper trying to wait for those sticky napalm stacks to run out. Man, Batrider just barely missed the sticky napalm stack, and there we go. Viper's gonna slow down the crap out of Batrider. Batrider trying to keep Viper off his tail. Viper doing as much damage as possible. Not enough damage to actually kill him, and actually Batrider is actually doing quite a bit of damage to kill himself. I keep forgetting. Corrosive Skin does proc if Viper takes damage from you. So if Viper continues to take damage, from that Firefly, then Batrider would have went down. Yeah, so there's one technicality that I figured out the hard way. I don't remember who I was playing. Oh, I was playing Venomancer versus a Viper, and it's the most annoying thing in the world because I threw a Poison Sting on top of him, which is Viper's passive. It does damage over time, and basically I was getting slowed and damaged because I was doing damage to Viper with a passive ability, and it was making me pretty darn angry. I don't remember if we won or lost that game, but it was a learning experience. So there you go. For all you guys who didn't know, Viper's Corrosive Skin does proc off on you if you are taking, or if you're dealing damage at all to Viper. It doesn't matter what source. If you're just dealing damage to him, you're gonna get slowed. I think HP removal doesn't count for it. And around the corner, we got Nick Sass getting caught in the worst way possible. He can't throw an impale. He will have to land the best impale of his life, which he does land the best impale of his life, but he's actually still going to be going down. Bounty Hunter finish off with that Shuriken toss. Level 2 Shuriken toss. Nice little kitten toy. Get himself a free kill. If only Bounty was level 6 though. Muhammad trying to do what he can to actually get that. We got Viper throwing his ulti on top of a creep. Probably not the best target in the world, but that creep is not going nowhere, guys. I'm just let you guys know that creep ain't going nowhere. Meanwhile, on top, as far as the supports are going, let's compare them to each other. Let's see, hero levels. The supports are pretty much on par with each other. For the most part, yeah, they're pretty much on par with each other. The one to look at though would definitely be the Nyx Assassin and also the Vengeful Spirit on their respective sides. We actually see Rubik getting caught in the worst way possible. He's going to get pulled to the higher ground. Batrider's going to be able to have as much fun as he wants to with this Rubik. Rubik actually telekinesis Batrider to the low ground, and now Rubik will be facing an untimely demise. Batrider can end his Rubik's life, and Rubik will be going out. We got a rotation coming in from Viper. Viper's like, hey bro, you just killed my ally. That's not cool. And now here's Viper starting to run away from Timbersaw. Timbersaw getting slowed a little bit. Gonna go ahead and start running away. Viper could turn for the kill if only his ulti was off cooldown. He does have 10 wand charges though, so those 10 wand charges can definitely help Viper out. Rotation coming in from Vengeful Spirit, albeit a little bit late, but nobody's really too sure if they could actually turn that into a kill, which they could have potentially turned into a kill. Bounty Hunter is here, so Muhammad getting ready to go for some track kills. He wants somebody. He will be able to find himself a Batrider if he's able to get close enough. Batrider's tracked up. CulBlu perches up on top of Batrider. Viper's actually going in, just do a little bit of harassment damage to that Batrider, and these guys are going to start running fire. Batrider's trying to run to the high ground. Vengeful Spirit throws out the magic missile, and Batrider trying to juke as much as he possibly can. He's like, hey, what the heck? Why can't they see me? Because he's tracked up, bro, and Bounty Hunter not able to get in range to throw out a Shuriken toss. Actually, no mana left to throw a Shuriken toss.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And Rubik throws in his overboard. Meanwhile, we have 3 people on the side of the Radiant down bottom. Go ahead and push this around, push as much as they possibly can. Nyx Assassin almost level 6. Was not necessarily close to level 6, but she's a little bit closer than the Vengeful Spirit, if I would imagine, or if I recall correctly, which I probably don't. Yeah, she's a tad bit closer. Yeah, just a little bit. Timbersaw up top. No point in reactive armor, which I think is a little bit of a mistake. Yeah, sure, 2 points in Whirling Death does give you more damage, and it helps you with your last hitting. But really, you're not going to get a lot in this top lane, so just get 1 point inside Whirling Death, and maybe 1 point inside your reactive armor, because that's free regen for Timbersaw, especially considering his build right now. His build, he did go for the Poor Man or Stout Shield, which does block damage, and if you essentially tank the creep wave for like maybe 2 or 3 hits, that's free regen. That's free 16 regen. And to elaborate on that further, because CulBlu loves elaborating on things, we see the creeps, they deal 22 plus 4 damage, so they deal about, or if Timbersaw is able to get a proc on his Stout Shield, which blocks 20 melee damage, or 20 damage because he's melee. That means he essentially feels 6 damage, and he regens 16 per stack of reactive armor. And he gets 1 stack per auto attack on his level 1, and he got a maximum of 4, so he can basically regen up, what is that? That is 16 minus 6, whatever number that, oh man, Rubik just stole Impale. Wow. 16 times 6, or, well, sorry, 16 minus 6 times 4. Which is 40. So 40 HP regen for free, and we got Nyx Assassin getting caught in the worst way possible. He can't pop a spike carries, but he's getting chain stunned to death. Will he be able to make it out alive? He should be able to make it out alive. Gark up to stun himself up, and Nyx Assassin trying to make it out, but he doesn't make it out. Timbersaw tried to do what he can help, but it wasn't necessarily enough. Barrett right around the corner. He wants to go for a kill. He can't TP up and see if he can go for something. Meanwhile, we have Muhammad on that bounty hunter. He's actually hanging on the wrong lane, if you... to be honest. He's all he's trying to do is just make sure CK and Wuss don't have that easy of a time getting the levels. But Wuss is almost level 6, so CK and Wuss can get all the levels they want. CK is a force to be reckoned with right now, especially since he's building a drum and he's also building an armlet at the same time. He got the extra armor, which is nice, especially when Bounty Hunter tries to go on with that damage. But the bracelet will be delaying that a little bit. I would argue that the bracelet's not necessarily needed if you're trying to rush for the armlet, because you're trying to rush for the armlet, which means you're trying to finish up as fast as possible. And there we go, the armlet's fully purchased up. CK can bring it to him whenever he wants to. Meanwhile, on top we got yet another geyser happening around the corner. Vincent Spirit does go down. Timbersaw was able to pick up a kill on top of that. His top tower will be getting denied by Timbersaw. Timbersaw needs to run as fast as he can. Run, fat boy, run! And he does a nice little timber chain to a tree. And meanwhile, Barrett does go down to the Viper mid. Not too terribly surprised about that. He did pop his Firefly, so he was taking some damage from that. And Corrosive Skin is completely maxed out on Viper side, so that's actually going to be pretty darn powerful to see, especially early on. But he is going for a Shadow Blade, so a Shadow Blade Viper as opposed to a Vanguard Viper. So he's going for more of a I'm going to kill you as much as possible, as opposed to I'm going to be that tanky frontline person. Barrett not really too sure what he should do. He's actually going to go and throw a Janata Creep right on top of a creep. Wuss does throw out a tether, so he is able... Sorry, Muhammad on the bounty hunter is able to bait out a tether from Blood on that Wuss. But that's really about it. We got another rotation coming in from Borde on that Vincent Spirit. These guys do want to try to go for a kill. Vincent Spirit, she's actually going to get pulled in. Wuss does throw out the stun, and these guys do see that bounty hunter is caught around the corner. Wow, Vincent Spirit's getting chain stunned to death. And we got Muhammad on that bounty hunter. He can't really do anything but run. He has himself a desolate appearance thrown on top of his head. He's actually going to try to turn and go for a kill on top of Wuss. Probably should have tracked up before he went down, but he didn't necessarily have enough time. Meanwhile, we got people coming around the corner. They're saying, hey, go kill the Wuss, and Wuss is actually juking around the corner. She's stuck on the high ground. She won't be able to make it out, and the creeps will be able to scout out. Will Wuss be going down? Blood is actually in a lot of trouble. Here comes a Viper. That's a lot of damage coming out on Viper's side for free. Meanwhile, on top we got Gyrocut, that body be going down. They need to TP up top as soon as possible. And no, we got CK picking himself up a Haste Rune. The luckiest rune of his life. He actually throws out Reality. If he wants to go for the kill on top of Viper, he pops himself a magic one. He wants to go for the kill. He needs to turn his armor on so he can do a little bit more damage. But all the slow coming out from Viper is actually a little bit powerful. A little bit too powerful.
Top tower is under attack.
CK should be fine. He's going to go ahead and TP out, as opposed to continue venturing on, risking getting picked off by somebody like a Bounty Hunter or Vincent Spirit. And that should have been Wuss level 6 by then. Yep, Wuss is level 6. So relocate can go up, and Wuss actually going for a very interesting build. No relocate at all. I'm trying to assess the enemy team to see if that's actually a good idea. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best idea in the world. Maybe with just having a Wuss on the map is threatening enough. Or maybe it was a misclick. Maybe Wuss put too many points inside of Spirits or Tether. I'm not too sure. But I will say this. Not having relocate right now will force X-Men on the side of the Radiant to miss out on quite a few kills.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So Blood making some decisions. Make some game-breaking decisions here, guys. Choosing not to pick one of the most powerful spells in the game. It's not powerful because it's broken. It's powerful because it allows you so much flexibility. It allows you to threaten the whole entire map without being there. Because of the simple fact that you can be there whenever you freaking want to be there. So not having that, I mean, I guess Wuss can wait till level 7 to get it, or wait till level 8, maybe level 9. But I think if she delays it too terribly long, Bounty Hunter will be able to pick up a whole bunch of track kills for free, and CK Wuss, in situations where CK Wuss could have potentially saved the lives of who was getting engaged upon, or Viper's going to be just rolling in money, and they won't be able to kill him anyway. So we got pictures being drawn on the map. These guys do see that CK Wuss are here being a little bit too bold. Bounty Hunter is going to come around the corner. He doesn't want to get caught off in the wrong way. Because CK throws out a stun, Bounty Hunter is pretty much dead. And Bounty Hunter does deny the tower. So no gold for these guys. And actually need to take a look at the gold graph really fast. Just to let you guys see what is going on in that. And the gold graph is heavily in favor of the Radiant. Wuss is level 7, I would assume. Yes, Wuss is level 7. Relocate up top. These guys do want to go for the kill. Look at all the damage coming off from these guys, and that's a lot of damage. Vincent Spirit is going to be going down. Wuss actually getting focused by tower. No, CK getting focused by tower, but nobody's going down just yet. They will be relocating right back around to this area, if I'm not mistaken, and they'll be fine. So 2 kills for free on the first relocate. Relocate ganks, very powerful. I guess waiting until level 7 is a little bit a decent strategy. It gives you more power for your spirits, as opposed to just putting points inside of everything else, I guess. I'm just doing a lot of guessing here, guys. Bounty Hunter might be able to intercept himself a courier if he's patient enough, which
Dire's
he's
top
looking
tower
for. It
is
looks like he's
under
hunting for a
attack.
courier. He will be able to find the courier. The courier does pass by. I think it's just barely out of his vision range. He wasn't able to see it. Meanwhile, we got pings on the map. They do see the Viper coming around the corner. Viper wants to go for a kill on top of something. He will be able to find himself a wild Timbersaw, but Timbersaw timber change as fast as possible could.
Dire's middle tower
And there
is under
is
attack.
the life of Sky is saved. Let's go and take a look at the items. As far as the items go, we see Bowder has his Tranquil Boots. No Blink Dagger just yet to be spoken of. He's actually in the jungle trying to farm that up right now as we speak. Meanwhile, Wisp is building himself a mechanism. Very nice item to have on Wisp. Wisp could technically, or could still go for Earn the Shadows. It'll still be relevant because the middle game is not necessarily over until like the 35-minute mark if you want to put times to it. Timbersaw in a little bit of trouble. Sky here actually might be going down. Those are that nice timber chain to the side, able to get himself far enough away to even if he is stunned up, he is survivable and he is making allies. Barrett is helping him out a little bit with Sticky Napalm as well. What Sticky Napalm does do is slow, by the way. It does like a 9% movement slow and a 70% turn rate slow, which is freaking annoying as crap. So Barrett Blink Dagger should be up after this creep wave or after this tower. But just looking at everything so far, we can see that the deny that was down at the bottom is pretty much delayed Barret's Blink Dagger by, well, the deny, which is essentially 100 gold. So that deny is actually pretty powerful in stopping Barrett from being able to go for kill. Because if he did have his Blink Dagger by now, these guys could potentially go in for a kill on top of them. Nick Sass actually getting caught in the worst way possible. A rocket missile coming out from Gyrocopter. Probably should have waited. Probably should have let Nick Sass feel a little bit more comfortable before he did that. So Vince Spirit can get a swap in, or Rubik can get a telekinesis in.
Dire's
Or maybe they
bottom
should have been
tower
quick on the
is
trigger
under
finger.
attack.
Either way, up top, we got CK Woods just having a ball on this top tower. CK going to be a little bit trouble if he does get caught up by his TP coming in from Bounty Hunter. And Bounty Hunter looks like he's running as fast as possible can. He wants to go for the track. He does not have any boots just yet, or phase boots just yet. And the courier actually getting redirected. They did not like what they saw. Actually, the courier's coming down the Wisp. Wisp is getting herself a more words. Why not? And the courier is going to be running on home. Absorbers will be scouting out everybody around the corner. They scout out the Rubik over here, just hanging out, arcane boots only. And they're probably saying, hey, somebody else is here. We need to protect this bottom tower. We got the CK Wisp hanging out down bottom, saying, hey, we need reinforcements. Meanwhile, we got up top, we got Timbersaw finally getting some room to farm. He'll be able to farm his items. I'm assuming he's going to go for the Bloodstone, which is what you usually see Timbersaws go for these days. Barrotta hanging out. He has a TP scroll, so he's fine. He's probably, he's waiting for his Blink Dagger. But the fight's about to break out very soon. Gyrocopter has his ulti up. Viper has his ulti up, Shadow Blade as well, so he can just jump into those fights. Rubik, he can steal an ulti. I'm not sure what he'll be stealing, but he can steal something. And actually, Gyrocopter getting the gauge spawn. He will be going on first. A lot of damage getting done to him. Well, he was not able to drop down his ulti. Meanwhile, we got telekinesis on top of CK. CK pops his reality. He's trying to go for what he can. Bounty Hunter is spoked up. He's trying to run as fast as possible he can. Or dressed up. He's trying to run as fast as he can. Viper taking a lot of damage. He's gonna be able to make it as one alive because of his survivability coming out from his corrosive skin. Actually gets the kill on top of CK. Holy crap! And now he's getting lassoed up by Barrotta. Barrotta should be able to finish off the kill on top of this. Nope. Timbersaw picks out the kill. Double kill for him. Barrotta chasing his Vengeance Spirit. She's gonna be a lost cause because nobody really has anything truly to follow up or catch up with her. And just like that, the fight was turned completely. Barrotta Blink Dagger. Barrotta coming in, blinking and saving his ally's life. Timbersaw TPing in, saving his ally's life. So much craziness going on. And Timbersaw having the second piece of his Bloodstone. First piece, of course, being that point or mana booster inside his Arcane Boots. And as you guys can see right there on the mini map, I wonder if I can ping that. I can't ping that. Anyway, haste rune down the bottom over there. Pretty cool stuff. Thank you, Val, for putting that, because that was a very useful thing. Because the casters always say, oh wait, is there a rune here? Is there a rune there? But nope, you can see it on the mini map. One look, and it's there. It's very cool stuff. And wait, hold on, we might be seeing a little bit of action happen on corner. We got Bounty Hunter. He does, well, he's level 9, so he does have track up. He's actually going to go for as much damage as possible on top of Timbersaw. Might not necessarily be the best fight in the world, because there's so many rotations coming, or so many rotations that could potentially come in to save Timbersaw's life. But meanwhile, there was rotations coming in from the side, on the side of the dire side. So Goober, I think it's Goober. Goober knowing better than CulBlu knows. Viper's been doing a little bit of damage to the CK. CK does have his army. He's actually going to turn around and go for the fight. He wants to go for the kill with Viper. Holy crap. Viper getting so much burst damage done to him. And this ulti from Barrotta. They're not able to see him, but it doesn't matter there. But kill him anyway. Vengeance Spirit throws out a stun to Barrotta. Barrotta getting telekinesis towards the thing. Rubik with the nice CK stun. And he steals Barrotta's ulti. No, he's still sticking napalm. Holy crap. Barrotta sucks at sticking napalm on top of him. But it doesn't matter. Rubik will be losing him very soon. And there's his life gone. Vengeance Spirit can't throw out a swap, but she can't really do anything. Where are the carries? Where's everybody else for the whole entire dire side? They're going to lose 2 supports for nothing. And this middle tower as well. There's somebody around the corner. Bounty Hunter is here. just watching everything. He's on watch. If anybody were to intrude right now, I'm pretty sure he would have saw it. Gyro comes ult to the fly, just kill the creeps a little bit. And here comes another creep wave coming in just like that. And this middle tower should be going down very, very soon. The supports will be back up in 8 seconds, 6 seconds time, but it will not be fast enough. Middle tower going down. CK picking up the goal for that. He can go buy himself something pretty like a BKB. Meanwhile, down bottom we see Nyx Assassin. He's building himself a Dagon of all things, so he can go for as much damage as possible. If he does have it before, I want to say the 30-minute mark. If you can have Dagon level 1, maybe even Dagon level 2, before the 30-minute mark, it'll probably be one of the more cost-efficient items for his specific build, because he can just do so much damage to just instantly kill the Avenged Spirit, Rubik, or even the Bounty Hunter at that point. Because Dagon level 2, I think, Dagon level 2 gives you some crazy burst damage. Oh, wrong button. Well, crazy for his purposes. Not necessarily crazy as in like the best thing in the world, but crazy for his purposes. So 500 burst damage plus a Vendetta crit, which is like 400 damage at his current level, and also plus an Impale, plus a Mana Burn, maybe even Spike Carapace if they are so crazy enough as to panic and attack back. That's a lot of damage getting done to him. And Rubik probably won't be able to survive the Vendetta crit plus the Dagon. As you can see, he has 739 HP. And Dagon level 1 does 400 damage, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 400 damage on Dagon level 1. Vendetta crit does 400 damage at the current level. So that's pretty much all of Rubik's HP. Now, of course, you do have to consider magic resistance, and that's where the Mana Burn comes in. Because Rubik does have, relatively speaking, quite a bit of intelligence. That's a lot of damage coming his way. That's just Mana Burn level 1, but still it's more damage than more than enough damage. CK gonna get a missile getting flown towards him. Bounty Hunter come around the corner. He wants to go for a track kill. These guys might be able to convert this into something. We got a sad face getting thrown out by the Rubik, the dude, saying, "Oh, I'm so sad." And CK running all the way to the gates of hell. And if I recall correctly, somebody was telling me before that Gyrokov's missile used to be able to do unlimited amount of damage. So if Gyrokov's missile didn't like cap at a certain level of damage, then I think CK might have just taken like a half amount of his HP gone, just like that. And BKB is up on CK, so CK is ready to fight. His ulti's up as well. He's ready to go throw down. And we got the whole entire Dire side just hanging up top. DGG 420 or Goobers. I think it's the name, Goobers. Are up top. I was calling DGG. DGG up top on the Dire side. Just you know, they want to fight as well, but they're not too sure who to go from. Battle gets Force Staff plus Blink Dagger, Force Staff, and they instantly catch out a Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter going down this early is not really good at all. He needs to go and buy back if he can, but he won't be able to. Meanwhile, we got Viper trying to run as fast as possible. CK still getting slow by that, because Kurosa's skin is OP. It goes through BKB, guys. Meanwhile, we got Viper and Body going down. He is dusted up, and Gyrokovs are trying to have a man fight with CK. Not the best fights in the world, and he'll be going out. Essentially a team wipe on this side. We got Rubik around the corner. He's going down as well. A complete team wipe. Everybody's still there right now. Just by the grace of one Blink Lasso. Blink Lasso equals dead people, and that was essentially a blind Blink Lasso. Yeah, sure, they might have been able to see one person over here, but they pretty much just literally walked on up, came in and threw out the lasso. I think Nyx Assassin was scouting out with his Vendetta, but it's off cooldown, so I can't say for sure. It's off cooldown right now. So very impressive play, very impressive coordination coming out from X-Men at this point. And I need to figure out their team name so I can figure out what game this is, because this will be useful for when I'm making the video later and posting it on YouTube and stuff. Since you're in place, these guys do want to see what the Bounty Hunter is, and it's actually under tower range. So mechanism popped by the Wisp, blood on the Wisp, and the Sentry will be going down. Since y'all know if it's the best out of 3. Oh man, we got Bounty Hunter, we got Ruby getting caught on the worst way possible. He goes down, easy kills, easy. Batward able to pick off the kills. He's picking up supports left and right. Bounty, he's trying to do what he can. He has tangos, boots, and a drum, and that's really about it. And Gyrokovs to pop his ulti, popping his rocket barrage, trying to do as much damage as possible to push things back. Meanwhile, Nyx Assassin, how close is he to his Dagon? That is a Force Staff. He went for Force Staff instead. I like this much better, guys. I'm not a huge fan of Dagon at all, but Dagon on Nyx Assassin is justified, I guess, because he does do quite a bit of damage with those Vendetta crits, which is the first attack after while he's in Vendetta. The first auto attack he does is a Vendetta crit, because it does a critical amount of damage. I think all these guys need now is a gym, so they can basically find out what the Bounty Hunter is, because Bounty Hunter is just casually walking on past everything. He might be able to find himself a kill on top of his Wiz if he knows the Nick Assassin. If he doesn't know Nick Assassin is here. And now we got Wiz on the run. She's trying to run as fast as possibly can. Throws out the spear, trying to see if she can find herself a bounty. Bounty actually walking back towards his team. Nick Assassin scouting at everything. He's saying, hey bro, I see all y'all people. And we got TK wants to go, and he's going straight on top of Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter getting dusted up, and he goes down. Meanwhile, we got, where's Nick Assassin? Oh, that was Viper, Meanwhile, we got Rubik stealing something. Rubik stole, and seeking Napalm once again. Barrett pulling himself at Gyrocup into the worst place possible. He can't really get out right now. He's going to be completely useless to his team. He needs somebody to cut down the street. We got Wuss about to be going out. Wuss will be going out to the missile coming out from Gyrocup, unless you guys can kill it fast enough, which they won't be able to. Wuss does go down on the corner. Meanwhile, we got somebody, Rubik, run away as fast as possible can. I think he bought back, and he goes down for the second time in this fight. And now we got Gyrocopter caught inside of the jungle. GG, well played. Getting thrown up by the Viper. This game looks like it's going to be over. GG, well played. Nah, GG, well played. GG, well played. Good luck. And that's pretty much the end of that whole entire engagement. So, like I said during the drafting phase that everybody heard, because CulBlu has a lot of voice. If DGG do not win in the mid game, they're going to lose. They're going to lose in the late game because CK Wilson just goes so late. And also, they let the Bat Rider go through, which I didn't think was cool. Anywho, my name is CulBlu. I brought you guys this game. This is one of the first round matches and this week's qualifier for Team Chibusa's Dota 2 tournament. Let me go and bring in the brackets again. I still don't know which teams are playing right now, but I can try to figure out. I'm gonna go on a limb. I say it's definitely not that first one. Maybe. I don't know, maybe I can ask them. Hold on. Oh, they all left. I'll figure out later, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the cast. Like I said, my name is CulBlu. Please go to the Facebook page of Team Chibusa. You guys can see it over there. It is facebook.com/ChibusMinions. Definitely go check them out. Go like the page. Go comment. Go do all the fun stuff that they do. I'm pretty sure they post about their tournaments. They post about their team information, all that stuff. All that cool, fun stuff that we all like to see. And let's go and hide the brackets. And that's it for this cast. I'll see you guys whenever.